All right, we are live. This is Mentorship Masters Roundtable Meetup, and I'm your host, Knolly Williams. This is where the Mentorship Masters and myself, we get to hang out and we get to learn. And today we're going to talk about why new agents fail and what to do about it. So I'm going to kick right off into the presentation, but before I do, let me just share with you sort of the way we're going to go about today's call. I'm going to spend about 10 minutes on announcements and introductions. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, you can skip ahead of the announcements if you choose to, or you can just hang out with us and find out all the other stuff we got going on. I'm going to spend about 30 minutes on the training, maybe a little bit less, and then I'm going to open it up for any questions that you guys have. We'll be opening it up for any questions. So I am going to share my screen because I'm super excited. I got to tell you, right now, as of this recording, we are just about a week away from Christmas, and I love Christmas time. I know I'm dating this video. We're in 2020. COVID is still on, or the pandemic is still out. Everybody's trying to stay safe. And but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have a very good Christmas. Tomorrow, I've got my wife and I are going to be going to a Christmas play, if you will. It's called A Rockin' Christmas at Zachary Scott Theater in Austin. And it's outdoors and it's going to be fun. Hopefully it's not too cold, but that's going to be fun. I love this time of year. One of my favorite things to do at this time of year is watch It's a Wonderful Life. That is my absolute favorite movie of all time. And I haven't watched it yet this year, but I will be watching that probably Christmas Eve. So hopefully you guys have some fantastic plans. And also, those of you that are receiving revenue share, I just got a memo this morning that EXP is working very hard to release revenue share tomorrow. So a little bit early Christmas present there as well. All right, so let me share my screen and I'll get into the announcements and then we will finish up the rest. We'll kind of really get into the meat and potatoes of our topic. So this is what we're here to talk about, and that is why most new agents fail and what to do about it. Now, again, the title is a bit deceiving, a little bit deceptive, because this is not just why new agents fail. This is why agents fail. And the truth about it is that we know, we've seen the statistics, according to National Association of Realtors, 87% of real estate agents don't make it past 2 years in this business. And that's the reason why, quite frankly, we are so adamant about growing Mentorship Masters. You know, we are really, really, really purposeful about attracting, recruiting, whatever you want to call it, people here, because we know that if they come here, if they come to our group, they're going to succeed. They're going to have the highest possibility for success. So that's why I will never quit going out and bringing them in. Okay. So why most new agents fail and what to do about it. Now, before we do that, let's get into our announcements. We've got some new members to the group. Woo! New since the last time we met. We've got Brett Ballinger. We've got Lindsay Shallett, Austin Shallett, and we've got Yan just joined us. Peter Squires, May Wells. We've got Tara that joined us, Tara KC, and then also Michelle Dorr. And we thank each of the sponsors for bringing those individual agents in. We thank you, thank you, thank you. So you can see your information here. Give yourself a high five, pat on the back. Thank you for helping Mentorship Masters grow. You know, we started this group with the intention of being faith-based, Christ-centered, and really bringing you the truth of how to succeed in the real estate game. So here's our top producers. I want to share, actually, these are our masters. I got these a little transposed. These are our top attractors. We've got Will and Deb Gilliam is our top attractor with 13 masters that they brought in. We've got Stuart Sutton right in second place. So Stuart is woo, woo, woo. He's coming up on the track, boy. He's coming up real fast. He's only been here a couple of months, but he's already got 8 masters that he's brought into the group. Then we've got Mina and Artemis in what we call third place. and they're tied up for that. And then we've got a bunch of other masters here, David and Melody Dutton, Bailey Pippinger, and then Mark Phillips. Mark Phillips has really come up the ranks. He's really doing quite well. And they each have 3 and so on. So then there's a bunch of you that have 2. I saw Charles Lee just join the call. What's up, Charles? Charles has his 2. And then we have many of you that have 1 master that you brought in. So the whole goal of Mentorship Masters is not just me as the master. I'm not the guru, okay? And that's why Masters has a plural on it. It's not Mentorship Master, it's Masters. We're all masters. And, you know, we could call ourselves masters in training, but we're all in this to bring in more masters. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you for helping us grow. And here's our top producers. So we've got our well, 3 people that have already capped. Tony Pippinger, he capped in 2 weeks. He did it last year. He capped in a month last year. This year he just did it in 2 weeks. And then Valerie Floyd, she capped in 1 transaction. That's right. She did 1 deal. Her third week, her 3rd year in real estate. She just started her 3rd year. Last year was her 2nd year. She did over about $250,000 in commissions. And this year promises to be even better. Tanika Belfield also has capped. Tanika Belfield Martin. And then we have several of you that are on the heels of capping. Kayla, Katie, Chad are really, really close to capping, as is Mina and many others. So thank you guys for getting out there selling and, you know, building your group. EXP in the news. I want to share a couple of news articles real quick. I think it's very important to continue to share with you guys what is happening. So Real Trends, go and read that Swan Pool. We're poised, says that real estate phenomenon, calls us a real estate phenomenon that is poised for success in 2021. Also, we launched EXP France. And one of our influencers in our influencer group, he just announced that he signed a brokerage. I think it's a 60 agent or 40 agent brokerage that he just signed in France to EXP. So we're open in France, guys. Also, we're open in, I'm going to get back to this story up here in a minute. We're open in Portugal. We're open in Mexico. What's up? You guys have been waiting for Mexico. We're open in Mexico. We're open in India. Who opens 5 countries in 2 months? EXP does, and that's what we've done. We also we purchased Success Enterprises. That's right. Success Enterprises, Success Magazine is now owned by EXP World Holdings. Now, who's EXP World Holdings? It's you and me. We're all owners. When you join EXP and you join Mentorship Masters, you became an owner. And so you are now an owner of Success Magazine and the whole Success Enterprises. Even success.com, we now own. Okay. So we're doing a lot of phenomenal stuff. A lot of great stuff going on here at EXP. So thank you guys for being a part of history, making history, baby. By the way, the other thing is that we just announced that we passed 40,000 agents here at EXP. So a lot of great stuff on the horizon, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So why most agents fail and what to do about it. By the way, before I even get into that, let me share one other thing. Have you seen our stock prices lately? Have you seen our stock price? Let me see if I could pull it up for you. So when I joined EXP, our stock was about $8 a share, I think it was. And I know, Charles, when you joined, I think the stock was like $10 or maybe $12 back then. But if you look at the stock today, you'll see that our stock is, see if you guys can see that. Yep, $74. It's a little blurry. $74.49. $75 a share. And so what that means is, like Tony Pippinger, when he iconed last year, he hit icon. So he got $16,000 worth of stock. And back then the stock was maybe worth $16. Okay, so he got 1,000 shares. Well, that 1,000 shares is now worth $75,000. And remember, you get stock for doing the same things that you did at your former brokerage. Like when you close your first transaction of every anniversary year, you get stock. Okay. When you bring on a master, okay, and they close their first deal, you get stock, and so on. There's many ways that you earn stock. So make sure that you're checking out your stock portfolio. If you don't know how to do it, it's super easy to see where your stock is. All you've got to do, let me get back to where I was. Okay, so all you got to do, let me get out of this. You can go over to your EXP dashboard. I'm gonna just show you guys how to do this real quick. Do I have it open? I don't have mine open. So let me just open. So go into Enterprise. And then when you sign into Enterprise, let me sign in real quick. And okay, so when you sign in, all you're going to do is scroll down, and you're going to go to this icon right here that called ShareWorks. Okay, and that's going to be where you click on to see the performance of your stock here at EXP. So if you're just signing on for the first time, it might ask you a few questions. Look, I've got 106,000 in stock. And by the way, look at the stock. This part here that says unavailable, that's all stock that was awarded to me. Okay, now this is all stock that I purchased up here, about $20,000 in value. But look at what was awarded to me in the last 23 months. $87,025 in stock was awarded to me in just the last 23 months. So, I was with Keller Williams for 10 years and I left with $0. So I got to tell you, I'm excited. I'm super excited. So, all right, now let's get into our presentation. And this is all about why most agents fail and what to do about it. Okay, so let me get out of this. All right, now if you guys have any questions as we're presenting or as I'm going through this, let me know. Just put them in the chat and I'll get to them, baby. All right, so what is the number one reason that new agents fail? That's the question I want to ask you guys. What is the number one reason that new agents fail? And I'm going to give you a couple of options and see if you can guess this. And by the way, it's not just new agents that fail. I've seen agents that have been in the business for 2, 3, 4 years, and they're doing real well, and then their business tanks. Okay, and why is that? So, is it because they a failure to plan? Lack of belief. Maybe they just don't believe in themselves. Maybe they didn't come up with a good enough plan to begin with when they got into business. Maybe they just didn't try hard enough. They don't try hard enough. Maybe that's the reason. Or they don't know what to do. They just don't know what to do. So let me see. Put it in the chat. Let me see what you guys think. What is the number one reason? Just throw it out there. Your opinion. And it doesn't have to be one of these. Just put it in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, put it in put it in the discussion below. Derek says they have no system in place. Okay, that's good. Okay, anyone else? No system in place. I like that, Derek. Melinda says A, failure to plan. We're going into 2021. And of course, if you're watching this, it might be 2030 when you're watching this on YouTube. I don't know. But right now we're going into 2021 and there's a big inference around planning. Hey, we got to plan. We got to put our business plans together. So Melinda says, hey, there's a failure to plan, So let me share with you what I've discovered. I've sold over 1,000 houses. I've coached and trained tens of thousands of real estate agents. And I have a unique perspective because I talk to real estate agents every single day. I mean, every single day I talk to real estate agents. And most of the time when I talk to a real estate agent, I talk to them around a problem that they have. I'm the cleanup man. Okay, that's what I do. So when you come to me, you got a problem. You know, Uncle Nolly can handle the problem. You know, that's what people come to me. So, and by the way, I congratulate each of you. I don't do this enough because of my personality. I'm a steel lord. We don't do enough congratulatory. So I want to congratulate each of you. This is the second best month that we've had as a group since I've been here. Yes, last month was the best month we've ever had. This was the second best month we've ever had in terms of you guys out there selling homes and getting closings. So kudos to you guys. You guys are successful. You're doing it. And this is not so much even for you, but even so for the people that you're mentoring, okay? The people in your organization that you guys are helping. So I had a gentleman come to me this week, not even a week ago, about less than 5 days ago. And he says, I'm just overwhelmed. You ever been there? He says, I'm just overwhelmed. I said, well, have you been to the Mentorship Masters portal? Have you started? Have you done this? Have you? Nolly, I'm just overwhelmed, man. I'm just overwhelmed. I don't even know. I can't even do anything more. I can't get anything else on my plate. I can't even do the stuff that you teach because I'm overwhelmed. And so I decided I'm going to do this training for you guys. And here's what I've come up with. The number one reason that new agents fail is none of the above. It's not a failure to plan. It's not lack of belief. It's not that you didn't try hard enough. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's none of these. So I'm going to get into the reason. And as I do that, I want to give kudos to Gary Keller. Now, Gary Keller was an early mentor of mine. He was the one that recruited me to Keller Williams in 2009. I joined Keller Williams, was there for 10 years. And I had a meeting with Gary in 2008, December of 2008. I think it was December 3rd, 2008. We met for over 2 hours, just him and I. And he convinced me to join Keller Williams, very progressive company at the time, the best model at the time. And I got to say, this book right here, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, if you haven't read it, this is my copy right here in my hand. This book really helped me to catapult and the trajectory of my real estate career. I got this copy of it in 2003. You'll notice that it is autographed by Gary Keller. It is signed by Mary Tennant, the then president of Keller Williams, and so on. And then other people have, figures have signed it as well. But this was my manual. Up until I wrote Success with Listings, I would say that this book here was the best around. Okay, Success with Listings gets very granular about the steps of what to do. But this book right here is a great overview, a great overall approach to the real estate game. And so we're going to be studying from this book today to answer this question: why do most new agents fail, and what to do about it? So kudos to Gary Keller. We appreciate all that you've done for the industry and continue to do. So let me talk about this concept that Gary introduced called hobo shacks or houses. Now, most real estate agents are really building what we would call a hobo shack. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, versus a house. I'm going to start right here where he says, I believe that until you have implemented and worked with a model, you have little business trying to change it or improve it. Remember, trust those who have lived before you, okay? And if you've done your research properly, then there are compelling reasons for selecting the models we've chosen. You need to have faith in your research. The time to question was then. Now it is time to give the model your full faith and effort. Personal hands-on experience is the only true route to obtaining a clear understanding of it, when or how you should ever deviate from a foundational model. So what you're finding is that many real estate agents are just not following the model. And what Derek Major says is they don't have a system. Okay, and that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. It really is a system for success. Okay, most real estate agents try to tamper with the model. They try to recreate the wheel, and it is not necessary. When I got into real estate, I took I took 21 listings during my first 74 days in real estate. And I did it by following the model. Okay. I didn't deviate from it. I didn't invent anything new. I didn't recreate the wheel. I just followed the steps and the model that was laid out in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That's all I did. I took over 1,000 listings my first 10 years in the business, and I just followed the model. What I would do is I would read this book twice a year. Every 6 months, I'd read this book, and and of course, this was back in the day. So and then I would make my notes. So I put all my notes in the back of the book, different pages, and where I was at different years, and I would track everything. So here's where I was in 2008. Here's where I was in 2009 and 2005, and so on. So the model, though, is the key. Okay. Now let's keep going. This is hobo shacks versus houses. You'll see that in figure 5. So this is what most real estate agents build. This over here on the left, a hobo shack. So this is built on patchwork or creativity and ideas. Let me put an idea here. Let me put a thought here or a piece of an idea. Oh, I heard somebody over here say I should invest in Zillow leads, so I'm going to do that. Let me put this here. And what a real estate agent ends up with is what Gary calls a hobo shack. Okay, and that's their business. The problem is when anything significant comes and challenges their business, they don't have a sturdy enough business to sustain. Now, when you follow a model, okay, a system, this is what your house looks like. It's a house built on a solid foundation of proven models. Now, let's look at this. So, and by the way, because we're so entrepreneurial as a species, as a people, those of us in real estate, we can fall into this trap. So Gary says, strangely enough, against all advice to the contrary, most agents begin by implementing their own ideas and models. It seems they have always wanted to do things their own way and be creative, so they start off their business lives with creativity. Then, as a result of success or failures, they start adding more and more creativity to the mix. Before long, they have no solid foundation upon which to build and no framework upon which to hang their thinking and actions. The structure of their business begins to look like a hobo shack of ideas and creativity with no plan or vision driving it. Creativity is the theme of their business. We believe that the best houses and the best businesses get built from clear blueprints, solid foundations, and proven frameworks. If you've ever tried to find a shortcut in a neighborhood you weren't familiar with, you probably already understand this phenomenon. And I want to read this story because I think it's so good. And I wrote here in the margins of my copy, that's how many businesses begin. And I can tell you, I started my first business this way as a hobo shack, and that hobo shack fell over and I ended up dead broke. Even though I made my first million by the time I was 29, actually made $2 million that year, made many millions in the 21 years since then. Okay. My first business was built on a hobo shack, and it fell apart and I left with nothing. So I was convinced that when I got into this business, by the way, I read Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I read this book 6 months before I activated my license. Okay. So I started from the very beginning with a firm foundation. Okay. So all too common, this is how the story goes. You're driving your clients down a busy thoroughfare and figure you could save 5 or 10 minutes if you cut over a couple of blocks to a street that might have less traffic. So you take a quick right, drive down a few blocks, and you pick a side street that appears to run parallel to the main street that you were on. Everything looks great until a few blocks from where you started being creative, the unexpected happens and the new street angles off in a wrong direction, away from your intended destination. So you compensate by being creative again and start angling through into the neighborhood, trying to get back on track. Well, you probably know how the story ends. At some point, you apologize to your clients, pull over, and break out the map. Okay, and this dates the book, right? 2003, baby, which you had all along. Now we're talking GPS. Instead of gaining 5 minutes, you've lost 15, and you have to retrace your steps back to the beginning and start over. Not to mention the embarrassment you feel and the loss of confidence your bewildered clients likely feel. Now, think about this. This book was written before GPS was even widely made available. This book, I mean, that was back when we were using Street Finder maps. Anybody remember those days? I do. And you'd have to pull over and actually use a paper map. And also, this book was written before the iPhone. Okay, so we're talking. It's you know, it goes back. It goes back. I get that, but the principles is what we're talking about. There are multiple avenues to the highest levels of success in real estate, in the sales business, in the real estate sales business. However, these paths are not laid out on a physical grid like some city streets, so they may not quite be obvious as you wish them to be, or as obvious. Intuition and good sense of direction are probably not enough to get you there if you venture off and explore a new unpaved avenues of success. Now, the reason I'm putting this training out is because I see with this call that I had with the gentleman this weekend that even some of my masters are venturing out and trying new avenues of success, which I'm not against. You know, I love being creative, but you have to be creative with a house that is built on a solid foundation. Now, if you got a solid house, then I don't care what color you paint the rooms. Uncle Knolly be okay with that, okay? But don't get creative on the foundational stuff. Very, very critical. I'm gonna show you how to stay out of the weeds in a moment. So look at it visually this way. In the diagram below, figure 6, the straight line represents models and the dotted line represents creativity. When you start with models, you always have a sound, proven basis from which to work. The model serves as a reference point that allows you always to know why you made the creative decision you made and where to return if your creativity proves unsuccessful. When you don't have a model to provide direction and focus, your last creative effort becomes your reference point. And you can easily become lost. Now, what's he talking about? This is what he's talking about here. So creativity off of a model. Now, when you've got the model, we've got the mentorship masters model, you got the mentorship masters system, then you can be creative around the model. You go here, you go there, you get back on track, you go over here a little bit, but guess what? You're still on the trajectory. When you're not using the model, okay? The reason why those of you, if those of you that haven't signed up to Mentorship Masters yet, talk to a mentorship master, get their experience, you know, let them sponsor you into the group, because this is the best place that I've found, okay, that I know of. I'm biased, but I've created this as a haven for success, okay? And I'm giving everything that I know, not just what I know, but what, you know, I'm a reader, I'm an avid reader. You know, you signed up with a guy that likes to read 1 or 2 books a week, okay? And the reason I do that is so that I can get the best information back to you. Not just stuff that works sometimes, but stuff that works. And when you have creativity without a model, this is where you end up. Okay, you go over here, up a little bit more, back down again, back up, across, over. That's what creativity without a model looks like. Okay, so when you start with a proven model, and only when you're confident you have your bearings and know your reference points, dare to strike down a new path of creativity. When agents don't follow models, they tend to say things like, I'm reinventing my business this year. Oh, it's 2021, I'm gonna reinvent my business. This often is just another way of saying, I'm lost and starting over. When you are models based, you occasionally need to tweak or adjust, okay? And when you're creativity based, you get to start over from scratch. There's a big difference between the two, a big difference. So when you look at the reason why most agents fail, it really boils down to they don't have a model or they're not following the model. That's it. Because, and that's why I tell my masters, and I've seen one after another. Look at Susie. Okay, I just interviewed her, and we're going to be releasing her interview in a couple of weeks. But with Susie, she basically she capped in one transaction. Susie spent 21 years as a nurse. as a nurse. Okay. Now she makes more than the doctors that she used to work for. She makes more than most of the doctors she used to work for, and she's just starting her 3rd year in real estate. Well, when she came to us, she was only in her 2nd year. Okay. And in her 1st year, she didn't do much of anything. But when she started following the model, guess what? All of a sudden, she started getting on that trajectory, made like I said, a couple $100,000 in her 2nd year. This year, she's going to icon here at EXP, and she's going to get all of her, $16,000 cap back in the form of company stock. And she capped in one transaction. She had a $2.7 million transaction. She made almost $90,000 on that commission check. Okay. And that's more than she ever made in a whole year of nursing. She made it on one deal. And she's got almost a dozen deals, in the pipeline. So learn more about models. So there's a book. I don't know, see if I have a copy of it in front of me. Um, I Okay, so I don't have this book in front of me, but a model is a mental picture of how the world works. And if you don't have this book, I highly recommend it. This is by Uncle Eric. Uh, Richard Maybury is the author. We call him Uncle Eric. That's his sort of pen name. Personal career and financial security. And he talks about in this book all about models, what a model is, what a model isn't, and why we have to begin with a model. Okay, by the way, everything that you do in life is surrounded by models. Okay, everything that you do in life. If I can run, I think I got the book. I was just reading the book this week, so it's not on my bookshelf. I think I took it to my another room here. So I might actually go and run and get the book. And then again, I might not. But just what I recommend is that you have this book in your collection, Personal Career and Financial Security by Richard Maybury. Okay, make sure you get that because he basically explains models, and essentially everything that you do uh, is surrounds around a model. What he shares in that book, he shares kind of this concept that, let's say, for example, with a vehicle. Okay, well, we have a model for how a vehicle works, right? How a car works. So we know that a car works on a couple of principles. So it's got to have, gasoline. It's got to have certain combustion. There's basically 3 basic principles. And so if you don't understand those principles, okay, when you go to start your car and it starts to crank and it gives a couple of clicks, if you don't understand the model of how a car works, then what you could do, he talks about, it's kind of funny. He says you could just open the ashtray and say, man, the ashtray's full. And then you go empty out the ashtray. And then you put it back and try to start the car. It doesn't work. You're like, crap, that didn't fix it. Then you go and you check the windshield wiper fluid and it's low. So you fill up the windshield wiper fluid and see if that helps start the car. Well, obviously a person that would do that doesn't have a model around how vehicles work. Okay, so that's all a model is. It's just a way a thing works. And when you snap into a model, see, success is a system. Success, this is somebody put it this way: success isn't prejudiced. Okay, success has no prejudice. Success is looking for a good home to live, a good place to stay. That's what success is looking for. And if it finds a good place to stay with you, it's going to hang around and you're going to be successful for life. You're never going to be unsuccessful. See, I would never not be successful. It can't happen. It's impossible. Not in this lifetime because I already have the model. And this is what I'm passing on to you guys. This is my legacy. This is what I'm passing on to you is the model for how to succeed. It's not a mystery. It's not a mystery. And again, success is not partial. Success, success is not, it's not funny like that. It doesn't just hang out with the Ivy Leagues or with that group. It's not cliquish. Success will hang out with anybody that's willing to take it in and take it on. Okay, she will hang out with you if you're willing to learn models and succeed that way. So learn more about models, read that book. And the number one reason why agents fail, remember, it's not failure to plan. It's not lack of belief. It's not that you don't try hard enough, because God knows you guys are trying real hard, some of y'all. And it's not that you don't know what to do. What to do is out there, but it's failure to follow the model. Failure to follow the model. Okay, that is why you agents don't succeed. And what is the model? We've put together the model here at Mentorship Masters. This is something that is painstakingly was put together. If you go to the portal, you'll find in there that there's a place that says start here. Start here. Why did I label it start here? Because that's where you start. So why most new agents fail and what to do about it. I'm going to show you real quick in the portal where to go. I think it's very important. And this is something that you want to share with your agents that you're influencing, that you're bringing on. One of the things that will happen as you start to build your revenue share group and you build your organization here at EXP is you're going to become a leader. Okay, and it's very important to become a leader because being a leader holds you accountable. It holds you accountable. When you have someone else, and this is a phenomenon we find with in the animal kingdom and even in the people kingdom, that when for example, when a lion can't find food, some of them will actually give up and starve. Okay, but if they have cubs, if she's got babies, she ain't gonna give up because now she's got someone else to take care of, and she puts the needs of others before her own. And this is what I find that here at Mentorship Masters, every single one right now we have about 153 members. So those are 153 babies that I have, and so I'm obligated to your success and to help you put food on the table for your family. And so that's why I find it very important to share with you the best. And that's so when you get in here and what you want to share with your group too, where it says start here, you're going to start there. And I have another video, another training that I did that goes through all each of these steps, but this is the 12-step success path, okay, or the 12-step success system. And I know, for those of you that are already overwhelmed, it's cumbersome to learn a system like this. But here's the thing: when you learn, it's a once and done. When you learn it, you do it right. Guess what? You're going to have success. Then you're going to have money. Then you're going to have Merry Christmas, and then you're going to have you're going to have leverage. You're going to have people that you can bring into your organization to help you with the heavy load. I remember when I started in business, I remember what overwhelmed feels like. I haven't been overwhelmed in years. I'm just not overwhelmed. I have enough leverage that doesn't happen to me. And that's what I want for you. But I still remember how it was. I remember being you feel like you're going to have a nervous breakdown. And I remember being that overwhelmed to where I had already, brought in all my family members that I could to help me with the business, and I still needed help. And that's why within 8 months of the business, I hired my first full-time administrative person. And now I have 3 full-time people that work for me, and they just manage a lot of the things that go on in my day-to-day affairs so that I don't have to. By the way, I don't do I did dishes a couple of days ago, so I won't throw that out there. But I was going to say I don't do anything I don't like doing. Years ago, I took it upon myself to write down all the things that I didn't enjoy doing, and I delegated those, and I just don't do them. I think life is too short to do things you don't enjoy. So anyway, back to this. So you start with your 12-step, and the first one is your 30-day checklist. Okay, go through that. And then step 2 goes into the orientation training. That's an orientation video. And I walk you through all the different steps of, all the different things of orientation. Step 3, you want to finish the partner fast start system. Now, don't worry about having a marathon to do this. You don't have a time limit. It can take you 60 days to go through all this. It doesn't matter. You know, what I'm doing is I'm setting you up for a lifetime of success, a lifetime of success. If you do the foundational things now, and by the way, I get how easy it is. I was going to say, if you do the foundational things now, you don't have to go back and do them later. I get how easy it is to get off track because even personal friends of mine that I've coached and brought into this group, some of them aren't 100% doing what I tell them. They're just like, man, Nolly, I'm over here buying leads. I said, well, who told you to do that? Well, I thought it was a good thing to do. I went to a seminar and I was like, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'm cool with it. But just realize that there's a possibility that in 4 or 5 months, you'll be back to step one again. And I don't want that for you guys. My whole goal is to cut a 5 to 7 year learning curve off your trajectory of success. So why do most real estate agents fail? It's because they don't follow the model. That's the only reason. And the ones that follow the model succeed, period. And I think that we could cut the 87% failure rate down in real estate if we just got that message out there and people started following the model. One of the things that, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not part of Mentorship Masters, shame on you. You should be here. But one of the reasons I wrote this book is because it also has the model, Success with Listings. It's 430 pages, and I wrote it after I had already done 1,000 deals. So it's not one of those things where I wrote it, after or before I had success. I wrote it, I read Millionaire Real Estate Agent, did what it said, followed the model, did 1,000 deals, okay? And then I came back and wrote this one after I had already done 1,000 deals. So that is why most new agents fail and what to do about it. Hey, hope this has been very helpful. I see a couple of you guys just jumped in at the last minute, but we're done. We're over. We are completed. And I am ready to kick off Christmas, baby. I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I see Rebecca just joined. Thank you for the Christmas card, Rebecca. Appreciate that. Woo!
I'm so sorry. I thought it started at 12. I'm sorry.
No worries. Hey, any closing thoughts or comments? I'm gonna open up the chat. If hopefully this has been helpful, it's been good for you guys. If you have a question about anything, this is where I'm just gonna open it up and let you guys chime in. And those of you that did miss it, go back and watch it because it's very, very, this is a good training. This is a hot one. It was a hot one. So no worries at all. Tanika jumped in.
Charles.
Go ahead, Charles.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's great stuff. I appreciate you sharing. What about, those of us who've been with you a year or so, we feel like we kind of need to go back and reset. What are your thoughts about that? Is it good just to go back to the beginning?
No. So here's what I would say for those of you that want to reset, and reset's not a bad word, by the way. So what I would recommend is I've got a training, and I actually have this on YouTube too. For those of you that aren't in the group yet, this is one I'm going to share on YouTube. Sometimes we share these. So remember, this is the 12-step success. But then if you go all the way to the bottom, step 13, okay? And every now and then, I'll hear from an agent that says, what to do if you are not, I'm not reaching my goals, okay? So that's what I recommend as you go to step 13. Now remember, this is a 12-step system. So if you get to step 13, there's a problem. Something was overlooked and not done. And I get it that my training is a little bit intense. It's kind of like, so what I would recommend for you, Charles, is just go and watch step 13, okay? And then there's gonna be some things that you wanna start doing, okay? And then you'll be able to reset that way. What it reminds me of is Michael Gerber. If you've ever read the book E-Myth, the E-Myth, it's all about models. That's the whole premise of the book. And he talks about the concept that when you go work at McDonald's, okay, They don't just tell you, hey, make some French fries. That's not how you're trained. Okay. It's like, man, will you just turn me loose so I can make some burgers and fries? No, we're not going to do that. We have a certain method that we do. Okay. And it might take you weeks to get trained. You might take a week to learn how to make French fries. Okay. And what they do, the system at McDonald's is, I used to work at Taco Bell, so I didn't do the McDonald's thing, but the system was, first they put you over the fryer, and they say, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to watch me make French fries, and you're not going to do anything, but you don't touch nothing. Just watch me for 2 or 3 days. So you watch a person for a day or two, whatever, however long it takes. You watch everything they do. Then you have a manual. You take notes. They might even have videos for you to watch. And it's all automated anyway, but still, they're not going to let you handle it. Then the second phase, after you've done that a couple of days, you guys do it together. So now it's me and you together doing it. Okay, you press the button and I'll do this. Now I'll press that button and you do that. Then the third phase is they're actually watching you, okay, while you do it. Okay, and it goes from so it's that trajectory. Okay, so it's those 3 phases. So that's what mentorship is. That's what apprenticeship is. That's what it means to be an apprentice. Okay, just like Christ with the disciples, he didn't just send them out. Now he did send them out early, and they came back with the tail between their legs. That was a lesson that he was giving them, a lesson. And probably a lot of them were like, man, I'm ready. I can go out. I can do it. And they went out, and it was like, man, this happened and that happened. He was like, you ain't ready. That's what I've been trying to tell you. And so what I've done is I've actually created the steps. So if you can go back, if you've been here a year or 2 and you're not getting the kind of success that Susie has or that Tanika has, look at Tanika. Tanika joined our group. She's already capped. Okay, she's going toward Icon. All right, and I interviewed her. She shares with us how she did it. And I asked her, I said, Tanika, is it hard? She laughed. She said, it's not hard, it's easy. Because the model, it's not hard or easy. It just is, okay? But you got to follow the model. So yeah, go back and watch this if you haven't watched it. It's good stuff. Any other questions? By the way, I drink some weird stuff, don't I? Look at that. You guys are probably wondering, what is that boy drinking? So this is what we call a heavy metal detox smoothie. The medical medium, he writes about this in his book, and it's got banana, cilantro, it's got all kinds of good stuff, blueberries, etc. So it's a really good power drink. All right, I think that's it, guys. I'm going to let you guys go and have a very Merry Christmas. I love each and every one of you. I thank you for being part of Mentorship Masters. I will never stop, trying to build this group. Some people don't like that we're constantly attracting or recruiting, as they call it. But as I said earlier, 87% of agents fail within their first 2 years of business in real estate, and it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen. So, hey, love you guys. Unmute yourself. Give us all a Merry Christmas, a wave. What's up?
Love you, Knolly.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Knolly.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays. What you got there, Derek? Oh, look at you. You're muted, Derek. I can't hear. Yeah.
Hey, I just got it, man.
You just got it in.
I just got it. I went out and it just came in. I was watching this video where you talked about this one. I just got it today.
Isn't that just like God?
Yeah, and he said, "Here, take this."
Yeah, read it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
love you guys, and I'll see
Thank
you
you.
on the next one. Adios.
Thank you.
Gracias.
De nada.